Heart of the Matter wouldn't be possible without the support of our sponsors, Coast News Group, Godania Organic Eatery, Repegs, and John Milkowski Tax Law. Together, let's get to the heart of the matter. Welcome to the Heart of the Matter podcast. I'm Junon.
I'm Dr. Lisel, and I'm so excited to introduce our guest for today, Elli Richter. She has helped me with my subconscious, with my internal life force, with my manifesting this amazing life that I'm lucky to live now because I met you 1 year ago. So thank you for being on today.
Yeah,
thank you for having me.
I'm excited for this conversation.
Me too. Let's get going.
Absolutely.
What do you want to dig into?
Let's just dive in. Okay, so let's start with a story of how I met Elli. Is when I first moved back to San Diego, two fairly random people reached out to me and they were like, "You're moving to Encinitas, you need to contact Elli Richter." And one of them was somebody I vaguely knew, and one of them was my very close friend, also a chiropractor, Dr. Courtney. And she was like, "Elli helped me form the life that I'm living now." And I was like, yeah, let's be friends. And
wow,
I just
what
messaged
an endorsement.
you. Absolutely. And my good friend, Dr. Courtney, is married with her beautiful husband and their beautiful baby and her awesome practice. And she's very grateful for you helping her through this whole process. And I was like, I want that too. So I messaged Elli on Instagram. And she was like, yeah, let's meet up for coffee. And we just became friends. And you accepted me into your circle. And we started working on a lot of stuff that I didn't want to work on. How do people usually find you? Are they in a vulnerable state? Do they want to work on themselves? Do they not know what's going to happen next?
Well, first of all, I love you. And I love our little story. And I've also watched you come here and in a year create really magical lives. So that's all you.
Oh, yes.
You know, and that she takes action, you know. I think that people come and find this work when they're ready for it, you know, and when they want to change something. And I always tell people when they come to me, you know, the whole like subconscious, so I'm a subconscious somatic integrative sorcerer, basically. I help people get to the root of things and change their lives. And that sounds sometimes really scary and intimidating. And really, when you think about it, it's like, we're here to build a vessel so that we can receive more light. We're here to just learn to receive and to kind of also earn that receiving, but not through hard work, but through the internal shifts necessary of letting go of negativity and fear and doubt and the stuff we're ashamed of so that we can receive what's already ours. Wow. So I try to present it that way, and then usually people get pumped. You know, so I'm like, okay, so what's in your way to receive? What's in your way to really become the person that can receive? It's usually trauma, stress, and unresolved emotions and really shitty beliefs that are conflicting or limiting. And so what you and I did together was we just looked at your beliefs and then some events from the past that were still painful when you touched them, you know? Do you want to talk about that?
Definitely, and I love the way that you describe your work because, you know, there are some people, they're an accountant and they say, I'm an accountant. It's like, no, what you do is something greater than your title. And the modalities that you use are sometimes hard for somebody to understand. But what happens with sessions with Elli actually integrates what you want to happen in your life, and it essentially like gets them to start happening in physical time, in real time.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's amazing. I'm ready to sign up.
I know, right?
Sign up, baby. Let's, yeah.
But that's the thing. That's why, like I always say, the right people show up at the right time, and that's what I've tried intentionally. We've tried to make the group intentionally with people that really want to work on themselves. But I love this because typically, what I've seen over the years is that people, if they have traumas, you bury it, tough it up. You bury it, and you think that if I bury it, hey, look, everything's fine, life's fine, but it does come up. And I love the fact that you were on this journey of really trying to work on yourself. And
well, let's talk about this. Like, let's talk about, do we actually work on ourselves, or is it more of a remembrance, right? Like, even the term, I'm like a huge fan of like, what are we actually doing? We're just bringing consciousness to our conversation. So like, are we working on ourselves? Because to me that sounds like, oh, I gotta get up and work on myself. You know,
Right.
I gotta get up,
Gotta go to work.
gotta go and do my meditation, gotta go do my cold plunge, gotta go. No, like I get to do this. It feels really good.
Right.
And it's not working on myself, it's like remembering that I'm actually a spiritual being in a human experience, having the opportunity to create magic and not the other way around.
Oh.
Like I'm here for the magic. So to me, I
Love
don't
that.
work on myself. I want to remember myself, so everything is magical.
I love that word, magic.
You know?
So, getting into this, well, I want to hear the journey.
Yes,
How did you
yeah.
get into this? in the
Trauma.
first place? Trauma, okay.
In a nutshell, fucking trauma.
Okay.
And how can I say that? Okay, let me see. My little soul came here to help other people. And first I needed to learn all about pain and suffering to be able to do that and to understand it. So my childhood was already super rough. By the time I was 19, I was basically like sick physically, mentally, spiritually, and really stuck. And it showed up in even the way that I chose my profession. So at that time, I was born and raised in Germany, and my dad was a really strong German man with a lot of trauma himself. So the way that he met us kids was with a lot of physical and verbal violence. And it was unpredictable. So my nervous system didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe. So my gifts weren't fully online or supported because I was always dodging the next anger, rage outburst. So by the time I was 19, I had an underactive thyroid because my voice was shut down. My emotions were shut down. My nervous system was super dysregulated. So when your nervous system is that dysregulated and your emotions are that shut down, you're also not super connected to your soul or what you're being guided to. So I made a lot of choices based out of reactivity. You know, the men I was dating, the professional choices I was making, what I was doing. However, my soul always kept kind of an eye on me, so it wasn't all like terrible. You know, but it led into some choices that also were traumatic, you know? And so, long story short, with the diagnosis of underactive thyroid and so much physical and mental distress, I decided to become a physical therapist.
Yeah.
My parents primed me to be a doctor. So my dad would always be like, this is my daughter Elizabeth, she's gonna be a doctor. And I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to play music. I played the violin and piano and I just didn't feel like I was good enough. So my dad always being like, you're gonna be a doctor.
I feel like we have the same dad.
No, that's the Korean Germany.
Right,
It's like
yeah.
the program very much in Germany is like, unless you do a profession that's academic or scientific, you are not good enough.
Right.
You know, and there's no money in art. And then the other passion that I had was fashion. I mean, look at me, right? So then he was like, both, no, don't, you know, and so he was very strong and strong-willed. So I went to do the medical test. There's a test in Germany to go to medical school. And it was so divinely orchestrated. So the creator basically like put me on a train that was a little bit late. Then the cab driver didn't know the way to the testing center. So by the time I got there, I was so stressed out that I missed the medical test by 1 point.
Wow.
Divine intervention, because I would be miserable being a doctor. I
Right.
don't, you know, miserable. So long story short, I was like, fuck, what do I do now? So the next best thing was physical therapy. So I started working with bodies. And you know, like I told you, I was already feeling super traumatized. The way my childhood trauma showed up was very much as physical disease. So trauma can show up in every area. You know this as a chiropractor. Suppressed emotions go into the physical body as physical stuff, or mentally as ADD, or as depression or anxiety. So it shows up somewhere. It doesn't just go down, it pops out, you know? So the way it popped out for me was literally everywhere. So I decided to become a physical therapist, and it was super cool because I learned about the body, anatomy, physiology, and then I fell in love with American, a football player. So I was really involved in sports, football, soccer, so American football, soccer. I fell in love with a quarterback, and we trauma bonded, and I immigrated to America, and that's how I landed in America. It was perfect. So I also operated under this belief that everything is good. And yeah, that's in a nutshell how I came to America, and my degree then as a physical therapist wasn't transferred. So this was the second time I had an opportunity to like redirect. First time is like this medical thing didn't work out. And at the time, I already worked at a gym, all-female gym. That was my first passion. And I know I'm hopping around a little bit, so I hope it makes sense.
That's okay, yeah.
My first job was an all-female gym, a fitness trainer, personal trainer, and I loved it. I was really good at coaching. So that's where I discovered I'm a really good coach. And I love teaching all these different classes. I became certified at everything. And then when I came to America, that was my only skill. You know, I could teach classes and do personal training and nutrition. And I was a physical therapist, but that degree wasn't transferred. So I had to start over. And I was only 23 years old, and I had my first start over already. You know, so at 23, I was like, wait, I can't use what I just worked so hard for. I was pissed. My ego was pissed. You know, I was like, wait, what? But it was so good because it forced me into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
I wouldn't have been an entrepreneur if it wouldn't have been for that divine intervention.
Right.
So then I just started to be like, okay, I have these skills. I can work in a gym and train people. And then I discovered that I have other skills. And when I moved to Charleston, I started working with a spiritual mentor. And we did a lot of shadow work. And mostly shadow work.
Right.
And I stopped drinking. I stopped a lot of the behaviors that were trauma responses.
Sure.
But my trauma just lived inside of me. But my behavior stopped. So on the outside, I was like this wellness bunny, meditating, teaching yoga, guiding people through holistic life coaching. But on the inside, I was still traumatized.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I was just a functioning, traumatized bunny.
Right.
I don't know how else to call it. You know, and then I was cruising for probably a decade, working on myself internally. And then my life completely imploded in September 2013 when my husband at the time sat me down and said, I can't lie anymore, I've been unfaithful. And to me at the time, that was the worst thing, my worst fear, my worst nightmare coming true. My world as I knew it just shattered, you know. I was this bunny running away from her dad and from Germany, right? Coming to America, far, far, far away. Thought like I had found like my safe place, my home. And then that just shattered, and it had to, because anytime any person puts their safety in someone else or something else, you're fucked, you know? So the creator was just like, okay, we're just gonna rip this away just so that you could learn to be internally whole and find your own center of safety and stability. But at the time, it felt like death, you know? It felt like a death portal. And just when I felt like I found my footing, my dad got sick. The house we were in had black mold. And my dad started to die, and I went to Germany to help him die. So doing all of this, I felt like the resources that I have is not enough. I wanted something to help me with this really underbelly of honestly shit, you know? Trauma, horrible beliefs. And I was consciously aware of them, which made it even worse. You know, when you have awareness that you know you believe you're a piece of shit and you can't change it. You know, like I had awareness that I didn't believe I was good enough or smart enough or anything enough, but I didn't know how to change it. So I tried to positively think. I tried to pep talk myself. I tried to use affirmations. I tried, but every day it just felt like, that's like muscling, you know, and it just didn't work. So eventually. And there's a lot of other things, but eventually I just had a moment where I almost quit my entire career. And that's when, again, divine intervention happened, and I saw somebody doing what I'm doing now, which is called PSYCH K, PSY/K. And I was like, I didn't even know what this is, I just know I needed it. And I signed up for it. I didn't even know what it is.
Really?
That's how I kind of roll. Like, you can invite me to something and I don't even know what it is. If you invite me and I feel it's a yes, I'll say yes. So that was like that with this thing. So I went, and it was like my DNA upgraded, and I knew this is my thing. And the next day I changed my entire coaching practice to just subconscious work.
Wow.
And I've been doing that for the last 6 years. I created a whole therapeutic approach about it. I believe that this is what is going to pick up talk therapy and conscious coaching and hopefully be the next thing. Not because I created it, but because it's so integrated, because it works so well. And yeah, like in a nutshell, this would be the story of how I got there. So it was mostly because I found places inside of myself that were so fucked that I needed better resources to return to wholeness. And then I got it mirrored back in my clients, like, and I'm like, we need better resources. And being German, I just went on a hunt. And so now I feel like I have really great resources that really work well. but the ultimate resource is you and you and
Right.
me. And we just have we have really cool tools to shift it. And
All right, we've done a great job of branding the group and Heart of the Matter. We've grown to close to 600 people. Now, how do we market this? How do we get out there? Do we do SEO? How do we get the news out there?
Coast News Group.
I'm getting to a point in my life where it's starting to really be fun. Because now the stuff that used to be inside that wasn't congruent is now congruent, and it feels really, really good. So I hope this answers.
Yeah, it does.
It's a long-winded
What's
answer.
great is from the beginning, I mean, if you think about it, even from the physical therapy side, you've always been in the healing arts. There's been something inside you, always been a calling to
Yes,
heal.
yes.
And so, but not only that, is the first time I met you when you came to the group, like you said, you're really happy. You can see it, you can feel it. And I love the fact that you're in a place where, I mean, you just emanate light.
Thank you.
So, I mean, that's, yeah.
Thank you.
All the props for that. And then have you always kind of had that innate kind of belief in yourself because
No.
you kept pivoting?
No. No. So what you see on the outside doesn't actually at all reflect a lot of times what was going on in the inside. That's felt so lonely, you know? So for a
Right.
really long time, people would always reflect this, and I'm like, I don't feel this way at all.
Right.
Like, at all. No, I haven't had this. This is built, this is, well, let me say it this way. Of course, my soul always had it, but it was definitely encrusted under a lot of
Sure.
blocks and barriers towards
Wow.
love's presence. Now I can receive and embody it a lot more, whereas
Right.
before it was this fleeting thing, you know, once in a
Right.
blue moon experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good.
No, that's it. But
Sorry.
No.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to have tea with you because I feel like there's so many similarities to how I grew up and how you grew up. And
Yeah.
just kind of your, you know, I've always said now I'm at the point where I do have this innate belief because, you know, I'm very positive and I just have this belief, but it took a while, growth to be able
Yeah.
to get to that point. But
I
yeah.
mean, growing up, you know, like the messages we are taught in the first 7 years of our lives are the messages that become the voice between our two ears. That's why I'm so
Right.
passionate about the subconscious. The subconscious isn't just what we know and learn on a day-to-day basis. It's what we actually believe deep down and what our cells and our DNA is programmed to. So I was programmed to nothing is ever good enough. You're not good enough. Being a woman is not good enough. And you going to have to do X, Y, and Z so a man will love you, so you be successful, so you be anything, you know? And it was very like hardcore. And I think you and I
Right.
were still that generation of where our parents were so programmed with so
Right.
much fear, scarcity,
Yeah.
and limitation. So that's what you and I are operating on deep down in our subconscious.
Absolutely, and the thing too is, I think you're exactly right. My father, he was an immigrant, so
Yes.
he came here. He's an immigrant. He didn't know. He didn't have the tools to really kind of, you know, delve into himself. Because even growing up, he would always say, "Hey, I don't speak to my grandfather. My grandfather didn't speak to my father." There was abuse all the way down the line. There was no tools. In Korea, there really aren't psychiatrists or psychologists or coaches. You just kind of
White knuckle.
white knuckle.
Yeah,
Go.
raw dog.
Yeah.
White knuckle.
Yeah,
that shit.
exactly.
I'm
yeah.
serious. Yeah.
It's interesting. and
It's
especially to come here, since I was born, raised in Texas, and then grew up in Arizona, we always clashed because what was my environment? My environment was obviously at home and at work. It was my father, the immigrant style, but my friends, school, it's totally different. So it was really confusing for me. I'm like, wait, you know, I'm American. Well, he's like, no, you're Korean. And so it's this conflict, but yeah.
Totally.
Right. And I think also cultures that are not accepting to talk therapy or counseling, this is where I love Elli's technique of PSYCH K, because
Right.
it's not, what are you going to share with me today? It's what's
Right.
actually being stored inside of your body, what's actually being stored inside of your subconscious that is coming out, whether it's ugly or pretty, it's got to come out. And you don't have to say, or you don't have to tell anyone for it to come out. What the trauma that you have is going to creep itself out, and how you're actually going to fix it is going to be more than just speaking it. There's going to be some physical aspects, which is so cool that you were a physical therapist and had that training, because you see technical logistical things about like, this
Right.
is my anatomy, but what else? What is controlling your anatomy? Is your brain and your subconscious and your creator. Something else is bringing it all together.
Yeah.
Of that technique of PSYCH K, and I know that you also integrate other techniques as well. For somebody who's never experienced it, how would you introduce to them? Okay, this is what we're going to practice today. This is what you can expect.
Honestly, I kind of try to omit that by just using my energy and be like building rapport, and then we're like, are you ready to transform this? Let's go. It's kind of like explaining a plant medicine journey or explaining something like EMDR. I might lose you listeners trying to explain this. What I can tell you though is there comes a point in coaching and in talk therapy when you identify the root cause of something. Let's say you realize that there's a moment with your dad that really stands out for you, that you've done a lot of work on, but it's still, when you think about it, your body still feels it. That would be then where your soul would want to be like, I want to clear that. That's keeping me from being a receiver of more in that area of my life. So let's talk money, for example. A lot of people have a lot of conflicting money beliefs, and so when you come to this work, we don't just talk about your beliefs and push forth with willpower. We then actually decide what you want to believe instead, or what trauma you need to clear in order for your pipes to be clean to receive more money, basically. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
And so then that's what we use the modality for. The modality of PSYCH K is so dope, but it's something you just got to experience. I rather talk more about what you can do with it. So let's say you have like money trauma or limiting money belief, and then we get to it, and we might take a few minutes getting to it, but we will very quickly. And then you're like, well, what do you want to believe instead? And then you might say, well, I want to believe that I'm a magnet for money. I want to believe that I'm worthy of it. I want to believe that I can manage it easily. Well, then the old paradigm teaches you, well, repeat that 100 times a day. Like tell yourself every day, I'm a magnet for money. And like every day, and then every day you're like, working against your nervous system, against your fears. Now with PSYCH K, you can do that change within minutes, if not seconds.
Really?
And then you walk, and then you're done with that, and then you go to the next layer of the belief.
I love that.
So you're shifting consciousness much faster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's PSYCH K.
Definitely. And the thing that I love about the way you integrate all of these treatments is it happens in real time, number one, and there's no hiding what your root cause, there's no hiding what's supposed to be coming out to the surface. It's like you can hide all you want to your pastor, you can hide, your traumas to your partner, but when you're practicing these physical and subconscious modalities, it's going to come out what needs to come out.
Well, when you say that, people might get scared. So I just want to say, oh my God, she loves
There you go.
it.
Yeah,
Good.
she does.
Yeah.
I have that kink too, that we're like, ooh, let's get in there. But like if most people are really scared of what's in there. Like I remember being really scared of what the F is in my subconscious and really scared of feelings. So I always love like introducing something in the podcast that we can actually use in the real time. So I'm partnered with Portal. As you guys know, Portal is the best. And Brandon at Portal and we agree so much in that sense that we both believe that we're just really all emotionally constipated, and we need to first learn to feel the feelings we're avoiding.
Right.
And to keep it really simple, there's anger, which we feel up here, head, neck, and shoulders. Sadness, which we feel in the chest, middle back, belly, lower back is fear. And then we have overall joy, pleasure, sexual turn on. Those like the joy, pleasure, sexual turn on, they all go hand in hand for me. And so those are the four primary things we can experience. And what are you avoiding to feel, right? And then you can ask yourself that already. And that alone will help you start to live a little more, right? And then with the subconscious work, people always say, well, I don't know what my blocks are. Well, take a look around in your life, what's working and what's not working. So for maybe example, like, you have great friendships and it's really easy, but money just kind of comes and goes and feels a little sticky. Or maybe it's really great with your partner, but friendships you suck, Or so there's always going to be an area or two or three or four that our trauma or our negative beliefs or our patterns will show up. For a lot of people, it's self-sabotage. So a lot of us have patterns that seems self-sabotaging, but nobody actually wakes up in the morning and is like, yeah, let me self-sabotage.
Right.
It's always a feeling that we're avoiding, and then the unconscious pattern. So a lot of people come to me wanting to change patterns, wanting to stop drinking or stop XYZ or start doing a podcast or start doing a business. And why are we not doing that? Because of the pattern we started to develop as a coping skill to the feelings we don't want to feel.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So I help people feel the feelings they don't want to feel and change the patterns by reprogramming their software.
I need you to come to all my coffees, because what's been happening is...
I don't know if I can.
Well, and the thing too
So
is,
much coffee.
4 to 5 a day.
Shit.
Everyone I'm meeting with, they're like, everybody's going through something. Everyone's going through something, and there's either a block or something stopping them from, kind of like you said, there's an individual that wants to start a podcast. They keep talking about wanting to start a podcast, but they don't start a podcast. What's stopping you? I would love to have you on all these coffees.
I actually think, and that's what my soul came to this word, to ignite things. So come around me and you'll start things. That's my energy. My energy is like that. I may not be able to help you finish.
See, we have
I'm
the
not
same
here
dad.
to,
I guarantee you, because that's what I really, that's what really drives me, is to get people to just do things. Just do it. Just do it. And I love that about you. Yeah.
I feel like the just do it is great, but I also, like, one of my primary desires for people is just like, stop putting pressure on yourself and just be.
Exactly. You're right.
Be.
Enjoy it.
Just be it.
Yeah.
Because real prosperity is really being able to enjoy the present moment. And when I was living with trauma, like, I was studying all this, like, intellectually, consciously, I knew I could reach peace or fulfillment inside, but I could never feel it. I would be places and I would never feel that.
Yeah.
It would only be in my head that, like, this is fun or whatever, but my body was always like, can't wait to be alone or whatever, So now my body is able to enjoy in real time what I'm doing and doesn't wish to be somewhere else. And to me, that's
exactly
a success,
I love that. Well, when I have these discussions too, people tend to, if I ask a question about something, they look up because they're in their head.
Yes.
But you're right, they just need to feel, and
feel into it,
I love this. This is great.
Yeah.
This is an episode, no offense to all the other podcast guests we've had, I'm watching this one. So,
We're
Just
studying.
because I showered and I smelled it.
We're going to re-study this.
Yeah.
So,
Study this, yes.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I know one of the books that you wrote is called, What the Fuck is Human Design?
Yes.
Love that title. So would you say that even somebody's human design can be a something because of their pattern, or is their pattern something because of their human design, or a little bit of both?
Okay, that's a great question. I think that, first of all, human design already requires people to buy into a concept. It already requires you to be open and curious. I have a lot of friends who are therapists, psychiatrists, and they just don't buy into this. If you're listening, this is something I give as an option to my clients if they want to, if they're inclined to woo. For me, when I came being traumatized people tend to be more susceptible to spirituality because it helps you to bypass certain difficulties. So that's what I did. I found spirituality to help me bypass certain difficulties before I climbed back down into my body, learned more about the nervous system, But like, to me, I found human design at a time where it really helped me with my trauma. It really helped me with some of these programs that I had of feeling too different, too out there, too much, too everything, and not enough of that, So human design gave me a lot of peace. That's why I wrote a book about it. I personally love human design because it helps you to love people more the way they need to be loved. So the way that I incorporate it into my praxis, knowing that you both are what you are, I would encourage you, for example, in the way that you, like, I teach all my clients how to do discipline. Instead of discipline, like, instead of being like, you should do this, I'm like, let's create a discipline. Like, your connection to the creator, to your joy, let's create a discipline. You want to show up every day and take care of your nervous system and feel your feelings. That needs to be a discipline. You need to earn the light of the creator. You need to earn it, right? Not by working hard and doing stuff you hate, but by taking good care of yourself and connecting, So discipline. I would tell you, as far as your discipline goes, it's important for you to move your body.
Oh yeah, every morning. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, I would really help you to do that. And I can see that based on your human design, you need that, like air you breathe, to clear your emotions and your energy. But people
Wow.
with your energy type that often don't do what's right for them. We often resist what's right for us, you know? And that's where your question comes in, you know? We often have patterns that are exact opposite of what's right for us.
Right.
So you might, you might not exercise, and that might be your struggle. And it would, like, I would want to help you get into regular exercise for your, so that you could design the life that's right for you.
Right.
Whereas someone like me, I used to exercise like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Several times a day. And that's actually not right for me. So I had to learn to rest. I had to learn to not exercise.
Okay.
And that was right for me.
Hey, can you believe we have 336 members now of the group?
I know. Crazy
growing
how
so much.
fast that was actually in a
Let's
year.
celebrate.
Okay, you're always wanting, look at that. Look how quick he is to celebrate.
Well, we have to celebrate.
What are you looking for though?
So that corkscrew.
Tune. Los Cuernos. No corkscrew needed. What do you want? You want a rosé? Red. Another red. But you want Chardonnay, I'm sure.
Chardonnay, just
Pop that open.
That's why human design helps. And then you can also, you can see certain core wounds. For example, generators like you guys often are trapped in hustle,
Oh yeah.
in doing something that doesn't actually light you up, but you feel obligated to do that.
Interesting.
You feel guilty when you don't, and there's a lot of guilt. The guilt is the primary thing. So like it's fun to see someone's design, and in my brain I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, maybe, but I try not to go into it with a preconceived, like, you know, I rather feel you in, take you in as a whole being.
Wow.
But it's still like, it's very helpful.
That's an interesting concept of hustling. And hustling because you enjoy it, or hustling because you think you have to.
Right.
So all three of us have this drive in us, this internal drive, but some of that drive was forced upon us, and some of that drive is innate, and we enjoy it. And is that why we've pivoted so many times throughout our lives? It's like, yes, I'm a chiropractor, but that doesn't limit me in only adjusting spines. Or yes, you are, you know, have a bunch of different businesses, but you're not sitting at a computer desk right now as a worker would be doing. And you are a physical therapist, but you pivoted into a different love of your life. And it's like, is a hustle because you're in a desperation, or is a hustle because you actually like the movement that you're moving towards?
Sure.
Especially this concept of guilt and shame and, you know, forcefulness. It's like, the whole Nike Just Do It thing is like, that I think is what got everybody on anxiety medication.
Well, actually, my friends, and this is where human design is so fun, like my tagline for my energy type is just do it. But for you guys, it's the wrong one. So for you guys, it's, you want to respond to opportunities that come your way. Instead of going for it, you wait for the gut to say yes. Whereas I wake up and I just go for it. So one time I woke up and I'm like, I want to immigrate to America because this person is the love of my life. 2 weeks later I lived in America. I have no fucking clue how I did it. I just do things. But if you apply that to your life, it's not going to work. It's going to feel like you're going to come against obstacles. And human design taught me that. If I'd wait, like you guys, if I just wait for opportunities, nothing will happen in my life. I've just put my meat suit in spaces, you know?
My laptop, I have a bumper sticker that says, doing it.
Okay.
It's like, I'm doing it.
Take it off and be like, being it.
Yeah,
Receiving it. Receiving it. You're
That can
receiving, receivers.
That could be a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Our
That's gonna
group
be a-
SD merch.
Well,
I need a new bumper
receive
sticker
it.
now.
Well, so
Being it.
that's what's interesting, because now everyone knows, like, I just honestly, I just jump. I just go. If I have something, I'll figure it out. I'll just go. But the thing is, I used to not be like that. And so, you know, I've told the story before, 24 years ago, my best friend, who, you know, we played high school basketball together, we were the best of friends, we were college roommates. He had everything. He had architect, he had his dream job, dream wife, dream house. He lived up in Seattle and he ended up killing himself. And so that was when I made that switch.
Your best friend killed himself?
Yeah. He actually, so there's a, people know I wake up at 2:30 in the morning. As I lived in Scottsdale, I missed his call. So then I called him back. I was like, Chris, call me back. He didn't call back. A few hours later, I get a call from his wife. Panicked. He said, Chris killed himself. I was like, what are you talking about? He called me at 2:30. Well, apparently he drove down from Seattle and then he called me. I didn't answer, and then he jumped out the window and killed himself. So at that point, that's when I made a huge pivot in how I did things. Because before, it was very much like I just hustled to hustle. And then now, everything I do, I only do things that satisfy me personally and that I have a passion for. So that was the big switch for me, was like discovering, well, you know what? He had everything. He checked every box. He wasn't happy. So everything I try to do is to honestly be the person that he needed, be the person that everyone needed, be the person that I need. So that was a big switch back then. But I still wake up at 2:30, so,
Let's have a session around that.
Yeah, okay.
And my deepest compassion. I love that the way you responded to such a traumatic event, and it's really painful.
Sure, yeah.
And it's also, like, to me, suicide is so interesting. People seem to be so surprised, but we have to really hear this. Outside things don't equal happiness. It's not A plus B equals C.
Right.
Like, there's been so many times in my life where I was doing something really amazing and inside I was dying, and it's not what's happening on the outside. And my most happiest times were, I remember driving away from my ex-husband with just things in my car that mattered to me and $800 in my name. And I remember feeling really free.
Yes.
And then I also remember, like, wow, that I shouldn't, again, there's that word should. I shouldn't be feeling this free and awesome. I have nothing. But in that moment I had everything because I was living my truth. So living your truth and living authentic to you is the most amazing. Like, you can be on stage all over the world, but if that's inauthentic to you, like, for example, I'm introverted. People are always like,
really?
Why aren't you doing X, Y, Z? And I'm like, dude, you don't even understand. Like, you know how much I prepared for this just in introversion time, so I could spend time chatting and taking in, because I sit in sessions all day listening to people. So I like to be by myself and recharge and be in nature. So, so for me, a certain life wouldn't feel good. So maybe what your friend did, also didn't feel good, and what you do doesn't feel good. And even though on the outside it looks like that person should be fucking happy.
Right.
And that's just not where happiness comes from.
Right.
Happiness is the fulfillment and wholeness is a decision we make from a spiritual connection. And if anything, I personally am on a mission to help people spiritually get connected, because if we identify with anything other than source energy, whatever you name that to be, God, source, the creator, then we suffer. The illusion of separation is what causes sufferings when we disconnect from that. And I know that's an esoteric concept, but we can feel it when we breathe, in the silence at 4 a.m, in the eyes of your dog, in the laughter of the children. You can feel the connection is always there, and just dialing into it, So we're either dialed into that or we've forgotten completely.
Right.
And I hope that whatever tools and resources I can offer help people remember who they are.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And because it doesn't matter if you're homeless or you have everything.
You're right.
It's inside. And I'm not saying it doesn't matter to not have these outside things. Those are fantastic. I love them, I want them. And I do know now that my fulfillment and happiness and safety and wholeness doesn't come from that.
Right.
And when I think it does, then I feel fucked.
Right. No, in the group too, we'll have discussions every week, and like clockwork, somebody ends up getting emotional about something they're going through, whether they have millions, billions, or nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody's struggling, but you're exactly right. I feel like.
But why are we so surprised about this? Isn't it so funny? Like, we're still surprised about this. Like, yeah, because we still have this, especially in America, there's this perception that if you have X, Y, and Z, that means you have no more problems.
You're right. You're right. Well, a lot of it, you're exactly right. It's the culture, it's social media, it's what you see on TV, it's what you see. Comparison, you're like, oh, well, they look happy. They have 2 kids, a dog, and a white picket fence.
Yeah, I think we have to remember that I feel so lucky and privileged to listen to people every day and to work also with some dope ass clients that have achieved like a lot on the outside. And they sound like me, they think like me, they feel the same fears, they have the same frustrations.
Right.
It's like we're all coming from the same place, going from the same place.
Right.
And then we're here to differentiate in our different ways and to let our soul shine with all the things we want to create, and that becomes really fun. And
It
like,
is.
I love that you're letting yourself create everything that you actually want,
Right.
versus like staying trapped in
Right.
in the program, in the shoulds.
Exactly.
You know?
Especially, with the Korean background, because Korean, you have to live a certain way. You have to have a certain amount of education,
Yeah.
a certain amount of
Same.
career. Everything is very regimented.
Do you know something funny? I'm still so programmed to be academic that every year I do some sort of micro training. Like last year I did a micro bachelor from Harvard.
Oh.
And like this, I want to do some from Stanford. I still have a little bit
Oh,
of
really?
this program, like, just be academic, Ellie, just the more knowledge you have. But now with ChatGPT, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
well, actually, I think all the knowledge is there. Now we can just tell stories, Just
Right.
like tell stories. We can just look that up. ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Gosh.
A question I have too, since you're helping a lot of your clients go through difficult times, how do you keep from absorbing it too much and it affecting you? What do you do personally?
Well, it used to affect me a lot because I used to be really, I used to self-abandon, and even helping people was a way that I coped with not feeling my stuff and dealing with my stuff. So once I really integrated that with subconscious work 6 years ago, I also changed my subconscious programs. So it's a program, a belief system that's running that when somebody's going through something that I have to change my state. I don't. So like when somebody's going through something, I just get really present.
Okay.
All I need to do is be there and not make it mean anything about me and not try to rush them or fix them, but allow them to have their experience. So by the end of the call, usually my clients don't live here, I close the computer and I give gratitude and I move on with my life. Not because I don't care, but because I trust my clients to live their life, and I trust the creator to take care of them, and I trust that everything that needed to happen happened, and that I don't need to carry it and I'm not responsible for them. I used to go to bed before I understood anything and like lay there and try to solve my clients' problems. Just like lay there and try to figure it out for them. Then I would wake up hyper vigilant, be like, I gotta fucking save them and I gotta fucking figure it out. And I was always hyper vigilant, having headaches, and just like my body was sick. And when you look at a lot of people that help other people, they are often very sick and like depleted and burned out. And that was me. I call it the wounded healer or whatever it's called, in this. But I was like over-giving, over-functioning, in clinical terms, codependent. you know?
Right.
So then I reeled it in, and to answer your question, there's a lot of different things that I do, but I think the thing that really did the biggest thing is changing my subconscious program. I just no longer feel responsible for people's stuff. And even though they pay me great money and like, but I know where I start and where I end. I'm not God, I'm not anybody.
Right.
They are responsible for themselves and they're doing a great job, and I'm here to provide the resources and the and that's all I can do. So, and I play a lot. You know this. The older I get, the more I play. So I think that pleasure and play is really what's keeping me, besides my relationship to the creator, from taking anything on. And I also always do the shadow work afterwards. So when whatever my clients are bringing, at the end of the day, I'm like, where is that in me? What is in me that I still need to look at or release or love or forgive? So I use them as mirrors as well. So by the end of the day, I kind of integrate that lesson, and then I'm like, okay, dope. This was a very fruitful day. I learned a lot about myself, and I saw some things that needed some love or some release or whatever, and then I just kind of feel complete, and then I go play. Because I think we came here to expand, to experience joy and pleasure. So my everyday, I have several things that I live by. One of the things I live by, everything is good. No matter what happens, everything is good. Even if it hurts like fuck, it's good. I go beyond good, bad, right, wrong. I don't like that anymore. Just like everything is sent to me by source. And then also that I can make every moment more pleasurable. So when I let's say I have a difficult client and I know they're going through hell. I make myself a cacao, I put incense on, I put my favorite emotional support sweater on, I set up my office in my bed, and then I make it pleasurable, and I'm like, I'm yours for the next 90 minutes, hit me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So it's like, it's pleasurable.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
Brandon, what's going on? This is gonna be our biggest deal. We can't be down.
I don't know, man. I've been trying to reach tech support for hours now. They're not responding. They said they're probably not going to get back to us for the next couple of days.
PSYCH told you this was going to happen. Let's call them right now. They do the tech support, cybersecurity. They can help us.
Let's do it. All right, team. Great job. Because of PSYCH, we were able to present this and close it. Good job, team. We're going to be best friends.
It's
I
gonna
love
be,
this.
yeah, it's like, why not? Because like,
Yeah.
you know, my dad died in my hands. Like, so many people experience so much trauma,
right.
and like, it's all pleasurable.
Sure.
It's all, I'm a soul.
Yeah.
I just came here into this meat suit to experience. Some of it hurts like hell.
Sure.
Other, it's like so pleasurable. So I try to have as much fun as possible. And in this town, we have so much
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Yes.
There's so many. Yeah. There's so much to do here. But no, you're absolutely right. I think that's not that I'm immature, but I just love to play.
I'm immature. I'm 100% as soon as I get done with my sessions.
Yeah.
I'm 5 years old and I play.
Okay, maybe I am immature. But I always tell people, if you only knew what goes through my head, because I'm always playing a game in my head.
Oh,
Everything
for
I
sure.
do is always a
Yeah.
game, but I love that
Yes.
outlook. That's why I said we're going to be best friends.
Well, your human design and my human design have something really important in common. We are
Right.
both experimenters.
Okay.
We like to just get in there and figure it out.
Yes.
Maybe get hurt, make some mistakes, maybe fuck up colossally,
Sure,
but
yeah.
the wisdom that comes from that is way better than from books or
Right.
from like a linear type thing.
Right.
Most of what I feel really proud of, or the wisdom that you might think I have, is when I colossally fucked up
Right.
or got hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I totally agree. And the worst thing too, especially with my best friend passing, is that I don't ever want to get to a point where I have regrets. Might as well try it. I'll try it. If I mess up,
Yep.
I'll learn from it
Yep.
and move on. Versus, all right, well, I wish I would have tried that.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right.
Definitely. And that healer wound
Oh yeah.
is knowing that the creator, God, source, is the one who is the only one who knows what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
And we as humans are just doing our best to live the best life now that we're on earth, because God's plan, I don't know what's going to happen once
Right.
we leave Gorania. And as a person who's helping guide and open up people's eyes for their time on earth, it's like, to take no blame, to take no credit, that is the reward, is that I feel that I'm helping people, and I'm sure you feel that you are called to serve this community, because this is your way of playing, is by showing people this is how you can play, this is how you can love your life, and whatever happens is out of all of our hands. Let's do the best we can while we're here.
One of the things that I really, really love about being German is that my brain likes to make something really complicated simple. And one of the things that I feel passionate about is that trauma used to feel so complicated. When I first started trying to heal my trauma, trying to heal in general, or like feel less fucked up, it seemed so complicated. And I remember going down some routes that were really complicated, you know? And in hindsight, I'm like, man, now we have these amazing modalities, PSYCH K, plant medicine, all these different things, and we can really like leverage this and live our best life. Like we can really do that. So I'm here for the simple, the non-complicated. So I feel like if it's complicated, it's still it's still ego, you know.
Sure.
And the truth is simple. And
Well, like you said, if it's complicated before, like you said, then it's work.
yes.
If you make it simple, then it's just being.
Yeah, and when you shift the overall outcome to, I gotta heal. I need to go to therapy because I need to heal. I have problems and I'm the problem and I need to heal. That to me is like, I don't know.
Right.
But
I
if-
need to be fixed.
Yes,
Somebody
yeah,
come
yeah.
heal me.
Yes.
Right.
And so I'm kind of like, what if you what if the creator wants you to have everything you want, you're not asking for enough, and you really need to become the type of person that can receive? And what if your subconscious is really the part where that's blocking you? Or what if your emotional constipation is what's blocking you?
Right.
So if in order for you to become the vessel, to become the person that can receive all this good stuff, you have to actually build your nervous system, your ability to feel your feelings, and your honesty. And like bring those parts that you don't like and bring them here, like that shadow work, right?
Yeah.
So the part of me that seeks validation, like love her. The part of me that still feels broken, love her. I don't need to fix her. I don't need to read another book or more therapy. I need to love that part and then show up with it, you know, show up leading with that, you know?
Absolutely.
I love that. Well, going back to, you know, from being from Germany, what does the family think back home of what you do?
Oh, my family?
Yeah. Because it has to be foreign as far as...
Super foreign.
Yeah.
My mom is so proud of me, right?
Yeah.
My mom is super proud of me, and she still doesn't fully understand what I do.
Okay.
If I tell her like, oh, I'm gonna do this, how are you gonna do that? She still doesn't. But she's my biggest fan, I think. My brothers, I don't know if they fully understand what I do. And I just have this story that my brothers and I, once my mom leaves her body and there'll be another like grief thing in our family, that maybe they'll understand, and I don't need them to understand.
Sure.
Honestly, through this work, I have a relationship with my family. And most people that have trauma in their family don't. You know, I
Sure,
know of a
yeah.
lot of people that don't talk to their family anymore.
Right.
And there was a time when I felt like I couldn't either, because it was triggering and traumatizing, blah, blah, blah. But to me, one of the things I'm most proud of is that I love my brothers, my mom, and that I feel super regulated and calm around them, that I don't go back to smoking cigarettes when I'm in Germany.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just noticing I'm different.
Yeah.
So I don't care what they think of what I do.
Right.
I just know I'm different and I can have a relationship with my family without
amazing.
feeling like activated or I need
Sure.
to run away,
Right.
you know?
Oh, no, absolutely.
The explanation, the need for understanding, the need for rationalization, that's what makes things complicated in the first place. To
Right.
just accept and feel and bring awareness to the fact that I can't explain everything and I don't want to know why, but things are better.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that is one of the most profound things that I learned with you subconsciously. Was one of my decision-making things that made me decide the direction of my life was work, 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 or saying no, no, no. And one of the most powerful things that I learned with you was that I needed to soften. I wanted to soften, and that I wanted to be more feminine. And we also declared that subconsciously I want to be a mother. And that may have been the most vulnerable realization that I ever had as an adult, because by the time we met, I was 35, and I thought, no, no, no. I don't want to give birth to a child. I don't want to bring a child into this world. When truly my subconscious is saying, well, you're going to become a mother because this is what you actually want. And literally after we met, just the things that I started wanting in life started literally like showing up at my door. I remember you told me this funny thing about something you wanted to happen showed up at your door, and I said, me too. They literally just showed up at my door.
Wow.
It's like, oh, you say what you want and those things come to you. And I don't have an explanation for that.
How good was that episode?
So good. Let's celebrate.
Where do you want to go?
JoJo's Creamery.
Ooh, my favorite. Look at all the flavors.
They even have vegan.
Ooh, awesome.
Hi, welcome in, you guys.
Hi, thank you. How are you?
Good. Is there anything I can get started for you?
My go-to is peanut butter cup and coconut almonds.
So I'm going to do coconut mounds in a cup, please.
All right, that'll be $15.85.
All right. Wait, my wallet.
June, you can use repegs.
Oh, that's right.
And you guys get 2 free cookies with those.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Repegs is so easy to use. Thanks a lot.
Well, you're in the frequency, babe.
Right.
Like you're the vessel, you're the frequency. You know, like if we talk about what we want, if I say I want this, then the next thing that's going to happen is everything is going to be taken away from me. If I say I want money, then the creator is going to take all this money away because my subconscious is actually saying, I'm way too scared of it, I'm not worthy of it. So my subconscious is going to be the thing that manifests. So just saying what we want is not enough. You have to be the energy.
Right.
And you just have to walk around already being the person that can receive it. And there's a couple of things in my life, when I get honest, I'm like, I don't think I can receive this. Like, I can't even imagine receiving it. So that's what I'm working on. I'm always like, can I be the person that can receive that? And you, like, it's making me cry, like, because it's such a beautiful example of sometimes we're so traumatized, stressed, or angry or hurt from the past, or have so many like jaded beliefs that we don't even admit to ourselves what we want.
Right.
I think you probably would have gone happily in a great life, not owning this desire, and then maybe choosing a life without it, you know? And so a lot of people don't even ask for what they want because they already judge the desire. They already have so much trauma or negativity on top of that they're like, Like if you dream of having your own business, you know, so many people come here to the networking group, wanna be entrepreneurs, but there's also programming, nope, you shouldn't be wanting that. You should just be happy with what you have.
Right.
You know, if you grew up in church, for example, there's a lot of people that I work with that have church trauma, religious trauma, and they just feel really bad about having any desires because the program of church, or sometimes in some programs it might be, you should be happy with what you have and you shouldn't be wanting more. You should be happy with what you have, and you know, but yeah, you're gonna be an amazing mom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love this.
Being it. We're
Being
gonna
it.
make these bumper sticker. We're gonna make this merch
We
that
will.
says the group
Be
ST,
the vibe.
Being it.
Be the vibe.
Yeah.
Just be the vibe. Just, you know, so I think we're also, what's so cool is like a lot of people talk about manifesting. I think we're evolving even in manifesting. Instead of just writing down what you want, literally become the person that can receive it. Because if you write down what you want, your subconscious is just going to come up to play and going to push it all away. So like bypass that and immediately be like, no, I just need to be in the frequency.
Right.
And work on your frequency.
I love this. I love this. We're gonna have to have you back. This is
I would
amazing.
love
This
to.
is great.
After we had a session on your sleep and you sleep through
Let's
the
do it.
night.
Wow.
You know?
I'm in.
I'm
Let's do
excited.
that,
Yeah,
for sure.
for real.
What's the best way people get in touch with you?
Honestly, Instagram. Like,
Instagram,
yeah,
okay.
I'm introverted. I don't have a huge like build out funnel
Sure.
or whatever. Like the creator just sends me exactly what I can handle. Instagram me. You can set up time with me on my online scheduler.
Great.
I like to talk to people first before we schedule anything.
Okay.
So you can just always schedule a free chat with me, have coffee with me.
What's your Instagram handle?
Elli Richter.
All right.
Yeah, really, really original. ELLIRICHTR.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you being here. This
Thank
is
you. So
again,
fun.
Can't wait for our
Thank you
conversation,
for
private
your,
conversation.
for your sharing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
definitely.
for your sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've shared so much with you. You've received so much from other people. It was really special to hear your story. You know,
Thank you.
From front to back, I'm like, wow. I understand why we all feel so comfortable.
Thank you.
In your presence.
Well, thank you
Thank you
again.
so
This was
much.
amazing. Like and subscribe on Spotify and YouTube. And if you're interested in sponsoring, reach out to us. If you want to be on the podcast as well, reach out to us. We have a pretty long waiting list, but we had to get Elli in. This is
I feel so special. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you.